Hello everybody, welcome to DKTR. My name is Darian and today we are going to be comparing the brand new Sony WH-1000XM5s with the Apple AirPods Maxes to find out which active noise cancelling headphones is the one for you. In order to determine which of these two headphones is better, we're going to be examining three different categories: design and portability, features, and performance. Let's start off by looking at the design of the XM5s. They are made completely out of plastic with a soft leather lining the ear cups and canopy. The canopy telescopes to adjust to your head. These are very light headphones weighing only 8.8 ounces or 250 grams. They charge using a USB-C port and have a 3.5mm auxiliary jack to connect to other devices. They have a power button and noise cancellation transparency mode switch on the bottom. They also use touch controls. Swipe up to increase volume, down to decrease it, forward to advance a track, backwards to go to a previous track, and double tap to play or pause. Now let's take a look at the design of the AirPods Max. The body is made out of an anodized aluminum, and the frame is made out of stainless steel that allows for telescoping adjustments. These are much heavier than the Sony's, weighing 13.6 ounces or 386 grams. They have a breathable knit mesh canopy and a mesh textile ear cushion that is magnetic and then just snaps back on. The AirPods Max charge using a lightning port and only have two physical buttons, the first of which being the digital crown. Spinning the digital crown increases and decreases volume. Pressing once will play or pause music, pressing twice will go forward a song, pressing 3 times will go back, and holding will activate Siri. The other button is the noise cancellation transparency mode button. One click will switch between these two modes. The Sonys come in a zipper protective case with outlines to fit the headphones and a magnetic closure to store the cables. The case is also collapsible, but I don't think it works the best. One of the biggest flaws of the AirPods would have to be the Apple Smart Case that comes with them. It is very thin and offers very little protection. However, you have to use it in order to put the AirPods into a low power state, because as you may have noticed, these do not have a power button. That's right, the AirPods Max do not have a power button. All you can do is put them into a low power state by placing them into the Apple Smart Case. However, you are not limited to just the Apple Smart Case. There is a plethora of third-party cases that use neodymium magnets in the middle that put them into the low power state as well. However, it is a shame that they do not just have a power button or any way to turn them off without having to use a case. For instance, you can use a hard case like the CO2 Korea to put the Apple AirPods into sleep mode while also having the added benefit of extra protection. The Sonys come in two different colors, a black and a cream white color, whereas the AirPods have 5 different color options: the space gray, silver, sky blue, pink, and green. On paper, the Sony should be the clear winner when it comes to portability. However, since Sony took away the ability for these to fold like they had in the XM4, it becomes a closer matchup than you may think of. Either way, the AirPods are going to be much heavier, weighing 150% of the weight. However, that is due to the better materials that they use to make these. The AirPods Smart Case does give the added benefit of being very compact. However, I don't know if I'd want to travel with this in my bag exposing so much of the headphone, so I would probably opt for a separate hard case like that. So the case sizes between the two would be very comparable in that position. So then let's just look at the differences between the headphones themselves. One aspect of both headphones that I absolutely despise is neither headphone can fold flat against your neck. See, when you put the headphones on and then take them off and try to fold them so the cups are facing down into your body, they will not fold that way. They can only fold up, and it's a very awkward position, so you have to walk around with them just like this. And that goes for both headphones. I don't understand why both headphones chose to do this, but it just doesn't work well. Now let's talk about some of the features of the Sonys and the AirPods. So, both have access to a form of spatial or 3D audio, which basically tries to transform the headphones into a concert-like environment. Sony uses 3D audio, but it is only limited to certain apps, while Apple's spatial audio is built into iOS. The Sonys have access to Siri, Google Assistant, and Amazon Alexa, whereas the Apple AirPods only can use Siri. The Sonys have a new feature called Speak to Chat, which is actually really cool. When you put the headphones on, The microphones will listen for voices, and if they hear voices, they will cut off the audio so you're allowed to talk to that person. The only issue is if you're a person that likes to sing along to your music, the audio will cut off and you'll have to go into your phone and play it manually. Both headphones have access to multi-device support. The AirPods can connect to multiple Apple devices and seamlessly transition between them as soon as audio starts to be played. But the Sonys can only connect to 2 devices. But if you have a mixture of Apple and non-Apple devices, the Sony's connectivity is much smoother. Apple's AirPods transition between Apple devices very smoothly, but when you try to connect them to a Windows PC, it gets a little hazy, whereas the Sonys can easily flip-flop back between Apple and non-Apple devices. Both headphones have head detection, so as soon as you put them on, it will recognize it's on your head and continue playing your music. But only the Sonys have the ability to recognize when they have been taken off and placed on a flat surface, and then place themselves into a low power state. The AirPods still need to be placed into a case to get them to go into a low power state. One major feature that the AirPods have that the Sonys don't is the AirPods have access to Apple's Find My Devices app in the iOS store, where you can track where these are at all times so you never have to worry about leaving them behind. When comparing the battery lives, the Sonys have the clear advantage. The Sonys have a 30-hour battery life while using active noise cancellation, which goes to 40 hours if you have active noise cancellation off. It takes 3.5 hours to fully charge these, but in just 3 minutes of charging, you can get 3 hours of playback time, whereas the Apple AirPods have a 20-hour battery life while using active noise cancellation, takes 65 minutes to fully charge, and in 5 minutes, you can get 1.5 hours of playback time. Now we're going to test the noise cancellation between the Sony XM5s and the AirPods Max. We're going to do this by placing them into a simulated airplane cabin and figure out which one can best filter out all of the background noise. So as you can probably tell, the Sony seemed to have the edge when it comes to noise cancellation. As soon as I turned it on, all of the background noise seemed to just fade away. The AirPods were able to filter out a lot of the background noise, however, there was still some lingering behind. When music was added, all of the background noise on both headphones seemed to disappear, so if you're planning on using these while listening to music, I wouldn't worry too much about background noise. But if you just want to sit into a cafe and use them to filter out the noise, the Sonys will have the slight edge. When you compare the transparency mode between the AirPods Max and the Sony XM5s, the AirPods are the clear winner by a mile. When you put the AirPods on and put it into transparency mode, it's almost like you're not wearing headphones at all. Everything is super clear and it sounds perfect. However, when you put the Sonys on, the transparency mode still works great. However, everything sounds a little off. It's almost like everyone has a little bit of a robotic tint to their voice. Alright, so now we're going to do a test of what the microphone quality sounds like on the Sony WH-1000XM5s. So this is what the microphone sounds like in a low noise environment. Now we're going to test it with background noise, such as a restaurant environment. So now this is what the microphone quality would sound like in a loud environment with restaurant and people talking all around you. So there you go. So now you're hearing me speaking through the AirPods Max. This is what it would sound like with little to no background noise around you. Now we're going to test it if there was background noise from a restaurant. So this is what the microphone quality would sound like in a restaurant environment where it's loud and you have people talking all around you. So in my opinion, the AirPods do have the slight edge when it comes to microphone quality. In a silent environment, the AirPod microphone seems a bit more realistic, whereas the Sony gave me more of a robotic tone to my voice. However, when sound was implemented into the background, the Sonys are the clear winner. They were able to filter out all of the background noise while still projecting my voice. When the AirPods felt the background noise, they lowered the volume of my voice immediately, and you could still hear a little bit of background noise. So if you were going to be in a quiet environment taking calls, the AirPods are the better choice, but if you were going to be in a loud environment, the Sonys are the better choice. When comparing the audio quality of the Sony XM5s and the AirPods Max, I personally prefer the audio of the AirPods Max right out of the box. They have richer vocals and more of an emphasis on treble. However, the Sonys have a deeper bass, if that's what you prefer. Also, the Sonys have an equalizer built into the app where you can customize it however you like, whereas the AirPods use an adaptive equalizer to automatically equalize based on your surroundings and the fit to your ears. Both the AirPods and the Sony support both ACC and SBC codecs. However, the Sonys also support the LDAC codec using Bluetooth 5.2. When paired with an Android device, this LDAC codec will allow the Sonys to have better, higher quality audio than the AirPods. As you can see, these are both really great headphones with very similar performance, and you can't really go wrong with either. For many people, I believe that the Sony WH-1000XM5s may be the better choice. They are much lighter, have a better battery life, are $150 less expensive, have superior noise cancellation, potential for higher sound quality, and their multi-device support is much easier to use with a mixture of non-Apple devices with Apple devices. However, if you are already invested in the Apple ecosystem and have 3 or more Apple devices like an iPad, iPhone, or Mac, I think that the AirPods Max may be a better choice for you. Their H1 chip allows for smoother swapping between devices, they feel far more premium in the hand, you will not be disappointed by the performance in any way, the digital crown interface feels much more intuitive, and the transparency mode is still in a league of its own. If you're a frequent traveler, I would recommend considering the XM4s. These are the previous generation of the XM5s, but are still available for sale for $350 US. And if you look for refurbished or open box, you can find them for even less. These are great for traveling because they're still very light, and they can actually fold like this for easy storage. And if you want to wear them around your neck, you can actually put them straight on and they fold straight down flat. They don't have as great as audio quality or noise cancellation, but unless you're an avid audiophile, I don't know if that would be a deal breaker for you, but it's still something to consider. As always, a link to purchase anything seen or mentioned in this video can be found in the description below. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been DKTR. I hope to see you all in the next one. Goodbye.